All right, I saw this tic tac, and honestly, I'm going back and forth. I cannot decide. I think he's wrong, but I cannot decide what side I'm on. Okay, now I'm gonna let him kind of lay it out just a little bit here, and then we'll go through it.
If you think this is more difficult than this, nobody can help you.
So he's saying a one-handed catch is more difficult than a bicycle kick.
Are you seriously trying to tell me that doing a flip midair, getting your foot as
You're not doing a flip midair, by the way. You're I can do a bicycle kick. It wouldn't be very pretty. It wouldn't be very good. I could do a bicycle kick. I can't do a flip. You're not doing a flip. He's wrong there. Objectively, he's just wrong there.
high as 8 foot, 9 foot tall, and
Yeah, again, you're just meeting it wherever you can. I think. Um, if he's saying I have to meet where Ronaldo is at, then you put up the OBJ catch. It's just weird. I don't know why he kind of phrased it like that. Um, I think that's wrong.
hitting the ball perfectly to then put it past the goalkeeper, past defenders, and into the net to score a goal is easier than running, jumping high, and catching the ball whilst wearing a glove as well.
So again, very very patronizing. I don't care for that, Mr. Max Football Talk. Because you can say that too. Oh, you're telling me that jumping and kicking is more difficult than a one-handed catch with a defender all over you. We can all play the game here, Max. All right, let's not do all that. But I can't quite get to which one is more difficult, and I'll kind of lay out a little bit of both, and you tell me. All right. So in the bicycle kick,
That doing a flip,
in the bicycle kick, well, both of them are busted plays, right? If you're having to do a one-handed catch, like nobody's drawing up a one-handed catch, right? Like you're not like, okay, and then you're going to run down the sideline. You're going to the Y route is just going to be straight up, is going to be a go, and then I'm going to throw you and you catch it one-handed. That's not a play, right? At the same time, a bicycle kick, it comes from across, and the cross is going to be a little bit behind the attacker. And so he's like, okay, maybe I can kind of track it, and then, do a bicycle kick. Nobody's like, okay, I'm going to set him up right here for a bicycle kick. It's a difficult play. You're not setting up for that. So they both are like busted plays, right? Like you're kind of cleaning up, if you will, like the play. They're both very difficult. Just take out like a lot of this. Take out a lot of the easy stuff. They're both very difficult. To do it past the defender or by the defender to get past the goalie, so essentially to score. It is difficult because you have to not when you're meeting it. You can meet it up there, right? Like you can get your foot up there and you can make contact. But to get that level or to even have it go down a bit, you just have to time that rhythm up just right. And the same thing with the catch, with the one-handed catch. Like to have it go past you and to reach out to try to grab it, you're having to meet it at a certain point. You're having to outstretch and catch and then bring it in at a certain point. Both very, very difficult. The only thing I see that he's kind of ignoring, I'm just going to say it, because he doesn't really know or watch football, is like the scheme is to stop the receiver from catching it, right? Obviously, that's already adding a degree of difficulty, but to a more extreme extent than it is to stop an attacker from, getting to the ball. And here's what I mean. Obviously, Virgil van Dijk isn't going to want to let Bonucci there, again, a very good center back, isn't going to want to let Cristiano Ronaldo do that. But in football, you have what is basically a cornerback
Whilst
So like
wearing
even this picture right here, he's got someone physically on him. So if you want to give the point of the like appendage, like soccer, you're using your foot versus your hand, like you're more dexterous, you're more agile, movable with your hand, with your arm. Um, but he doesn't have somebody just up on him. So if you give the bicycle kick the +1 on that, you gotta give football the +1 on like somebody's just on you, right? Like somebody is just like, even in this picture, somebody is just draped all over him. Whether the cornerback's doing one-on-one man or whether it's a zone coverage, like whatever it is, there's somebody that's like designated from stopping you getting the ball. Like, and that I think adds that degree of difficulty. Whereas again, in the
as
Ronaldo one,
8 foot.
he's got space. He's got a ton of space, right? The defender probably thought, oh, it went past him, because typically that if you're putting a cross in that's going for a header, it's like, oh, if it's past him, maybe he won't try to get it. And then it's like, oh, dang, he's making that adjustment. Again, he still has to get past the goalie. So that's another one for probably soccer. He has to get past the goalie. So I'm going to give that point there to soccer, to football. But then regular football, again, not only do you have the defense specifically target locked on you, but you have the physicality, I think, goes there. So it's a tough one to call. It really, really is. Like that OBJ catch, the reason why people lost their minds and he's made so much off of it is because it's really difficult. At some point, eventually you'll see it again, but it's so difficult. Again, it doesn't make it more or less. It's just you're not going to see that very often. And bicycle kick, again, you'll see some bicycle kicks, Is that because of the volume of soccer versus football? I'm sure that has something to do with it. But that's why it's so hard to parse for me that watches both sports. That's why it's so hard to like really, really like, oh, no, one of them is this versus the other one. And I think he only watches soccer, obviously, or football. And so it's easier for him to make that call. That's kind of where I'm standing. I think, honestly, it'd be equal. I think it's equal. Again, just understanding the physicality that football has, just the coverages, just a lot of what goes into that. I think he's mistaking that and thinking that it's fine. But let me know what you think. Do you think a one-handed catch is more difficult, or do you think a bicycle kick is more difficult? Because again, you can run them into the extremes, like Champions League final. That's the biggest stage versus going one-on-one versus Darrelle Revis. That's again, two that are going to be really, really difficult. So yeah, but let me know. And obviously, goalie, could have been whoever the hell it was at that time. But let me know what you think. Do you think the one-handed catch is more difficult, or do you think the bicycle kick is more difficult?